There's a thing that's been bothering me. It's not the thing that kind of keeps me up at night, but it's like an itch, you know, and it won't go away. It's something that I've been thinking about for the last couple of years. And this thing is something that concerns us all here. And with less than 4 months away from something that people call the biggest disruption in shipping, since we ditched the sails and we start the steam instead. I've been puzzled by that so many, they really don't have a clue what is going to happen. And it's not the sulfur cap in itself that bothers me. I don't think that this will matter that much at all. I think that the vessels will sail as normal. I think that ship owners won't have a hard time sleeping due to operational issues. But the thing that's bothering me is that there's a very few that has a clear strategy on how to handle this. And a clear strategy on what to do now and for the future. And it's amazing, I think, that we have ship owners with million-dollar assets, and you still only think on quarterly basis. You only look for the next 3 months, or maybe a fiscal year, but you don't see what's beyond now the sulfur cap and what's coming next. I think that we can all agree on that the sulfur cap won't be the last environmental thing that IMO is going to go out with. There's really a lot of political pressure now on cutting emissions. And now we're not only talking about the sulfur or the NOx, we're talking about GHG emissions as well. And there are already clear targets for this. But still, people are investing and thinking about how to cope with 2020. And some of the solutions that are out there, they might fix that, but you know what they say? It gets warm for a bit, but then it gets cold again. Let's play a little mind game, just to illustrate my worries and how I see what's going on right here today. Let's say that I would be fortunate enough to be a ship owner, and I decide to build new vessels. So I scout around a little bit, maybe I have a broker involved, and then I find that, okay, I will build my vessels in Asia. Hey, you know, it's quite convenient, it's cheap maybe, good quality these days, they say. So I decide to build my vessels in Asia. So then I start to plan the vessels, I start to plan the voyage from Asia to Europe, because I know that my contracts with the charterers will be in Northern Europe. So I plan the vessels, and I start looking at the journey back home. I think about Singapore. Well, the vessel is going to come out from the shipyard summer months, Singapore. It's quite hot there, it's tropical. So, in order to please the unions and please the crew on board, I installed proper AC in the accommodation. So, box ticked, I fixed that. Next I think about, they're going to pass Aden. There's a lot of piracy there. So I think about a solution for that. And then it's quite smooth sailings back home to Europe. So if we look at regulations today, let's say that Singapore, that would be the 2020 sulfur cap. And maybe Aden, that's the Tier 3. But then I stop there. I don't consider what's evident and it's out there. Yes, my vessel will come and trade in Northern Europe, so I need to start preparing for sub-zero conditions. And I need to start thinking about ice classes and so on. But during the financial phase of the program, during the design phase, the building phase, and not even when I give the command of last line at the yard, I haven't done a single thing about any icy things. And yes, you know there's still ice up here, even though we talk about global warming. And this doesn't make sense to me. If I'm so sure, and I already have the time charter contracts, why wouldn't I prepare for the conditions that's ahead? And the same thing counts for the emission regulations. Yes, I done my homework for the sulfur cap. I done my homework for the Tier 3, but I didn't do anything for what's evident, and that's the GHG emissions. And this bugs me. And especially when there's a very good solution out there. There's a solution that's already in place. There's a lot of it. The infrastructure is there. And it gives a very good bridge to decarbonized shipping. And if we talk about LNG as a marine fuel, it's not a mystery anymore. It's out there. You talk to the owners at Donsö, they have embraced it, at least a lot of them. So it's a solution that is out there, and already now what we are seeing is biogas coming into pipeline as well. And we see more and more of this, and you can start to buy blends of it. It doesn't need to be one truck coming out for a bio plant somewhere in Sweden. It can, in the future, be delivered with vessels as well. And for Gasum's part of it, I think that we need to look more towards the ship owners and what their needs are. I mean, in order to be competitive in an industry like the shipping industry, it's not enough that your strategy is to follow what the others are doing. Maybe you can survive, but you will never lead the pack by just stating that, yeah, the sulfur cap is coming, but what's your strategy? And they say, yeah, we'll just wait and see. Who will ever win anything by following others? And what we need to do now, me and my colleagues, we need to talk to you and say, okay, what are your needs? What do you need in order to be competitive towards the others? And what needs do you have that we can solve? What solutions do you need? Is it an emission reduction program? Yeah, that we can do. Is it financial help? Maybe we can look at that as well. When we talk about digitalization, are you ready to outsource your bunker desk and just have somebody else take care of it with certain commitments and a very good price? And when talking about price, if the environmental arguments aren't good enough, hey, shipping and ship owners, quite conservative guys, aren't you? They say, environmental things, yeah, but who will pay for it? Well, now it could even pay off to be environmentally friendly. We have seen fuel oil prices go sky high in Singapore for the last few weeks. I think in Shanghai they were up like 120%. So the big spread that everybody's waiting for maybe isn't going to happen. Maybe the spread is, instead of being this much, it's maybe this much. And maybe a scrubber business case isn't that good anymore. And we're looking at the gas price compared to what's going to happen probably with oil price. If the spread is not going to go that far, maybe still the gas oil price is going to go up. Gas doesn't really follow the fundamentals of the oil market. And today we can see a quite heavy discount towards gas oil and LNG. We talk even about 40%. So this makes a business case. And I think that this will grow even bigger in the future. So this makes up for a very good business case, not only for the environment, but also for the economics and the economical side of it. So I think that a lot of people in the shipping industry needs to rethink what they're going to do and at least start doing something. Because by just following, we won't change that much, and we certainly won't be competitive. Thank you.
You were so fast.
Yeah. What can you do?
Sorry, I was eating.
Yeah, sorry to disturb
drinking
your
some
lunch.
coffee. No. Well, today you are heading the Gasum marine business with a vision to take the bunker industry to the next level, where the environment and the customers are in focus.
Yes.
My question was, what kind of solutions do you think are the right ones to reduce emissions?
I think that we need to work more together with the ship owners towards their customers. Because no ship owner would be willing to take a financial risk if nobody's there to pay for it. And we heard yesterday at the commercial meet by talking to the industry, big industry companies, that they have quite ambitious environmental agendas. Mm-hmm. But in order to solve that, they need help as well. And I think that shipping is a very good tool for them to reach those targets also. And by that, we could help the ship owners, help their customers, and kind of make it all a nice, happy family together, and not only improve the business economics in it, but also improve the environment.
Mm-hmm. Where do you think in the whole what do you say from the beginning to the end, where is where is most to do for you?
I think it's a lot of education, and educate people on what's the right thing to do, at least give them the alternative. But then what's most to do, I think it's more to get away from the molecules and start talking about services and solutions and how we can help. And then the molecules will be a part of that, of course, but it's not that we want to go out and be just a commodity provider.
Mm-hmm. There might be questions from the audience. Do you have any questions? Yes, please.
Can you repeat,
Can you
please?
repeat, please? Sorry. Thank you, Stefan.
It's Tim Wright from Opus, Oil Price Information Service. Can we be assured that the LNG bunker industry will be free of under-delivery, which is a problem in the fuel oil supply and bunkering industry all over the world?
Thanks for a very good question. Yes, I would say so. What we see now with the bunker industry is quite sad when you look at what's happening on the conventional side. And there's a lot of cheating, and it's been like that for ages. And coming from that side of the business, I know quite well what you're talking about. And as LNG is quite a new thing still, there has been several things that has been done already from the start in order to get away from things like that. So everything is being delivered via mass flow meters and so on. And it's very much more regulated than the conventional bunker business. And not only talking about delivery volumes and qualities, but also in regards of safety. So there's a lot of assessments that's being done before we do the first bunkering with a vessel. So we can ensure that it's safer, and we can also ensure that the customer is actually getting what he's paying for.